toastmasters, welcome guests and honoured dignitaries. Faith and Bigora, darlings. Irish ingenuity. That is what I have a story to tell you of tonight. 'Twas a marvellous man. His name was Patrick. Patrick fell in love with a beautiful Colleen. That he did, you know. But he found a wee problem with this dear love he had. The problem was, Patrick was a Protestant. And the wee Colleen, well, she was a good little Catholic girl. You see the problem? So did Patrick. So Patrick got smart, and he marched himself off, and he went to see the father. And he said, "Father, I'm in love with Colleen, but we have a problem." "Aye," said the father, "you do at that now." And so father helped Patrick become a good little Catholic boy too. He did his studies, he did his baptism, he did his confirmation, and then he got to marry the girl. Patrick was a happy man. But in his heart, Patrick was still raised a Protestant boy. And so every so often, this almost Catholic boy slipped back into his old Protestant ways. And that didn't make his new Colleen very happy. So she sent him back off to Father. And he said, "Father, you have to help me. Father, I keep forgetting that I'm a Catholic." Father said, "Yay, we do have a problem now, don't we, Patrick?" And Patrick and Father talked for a while. And Father gave him a very sound piece of advice. Father reminded Patrick that every time he felt himself slipping back into those Protestant ways, he should look himself in the mirror and he should say, "I am a Catholic, I am not a Protestant. I am a Catholic, I am not a Protestant. I am a Catholic, I am not a Protestant." Well, Patrick thought that was very good advice. So Patrick went back to his lovely bride and he said, "All will be well now, me darling." And it was, for a while. And then came the season of Lent. Now, for those of you who aren't good Catholic little boys and girls, the season of Lent is those 40 days in the dead of winter when it's cold and miserable and grumpy, and we're all supposed to, as Catholics, give something up and fast and abstain. And so on Fridays, there is no meat, with one exception. On St. Patrick's Day, you can have corned beef because the bishop said so. So, on Fridays, there is no meat, only fish. And not everyone likes fish that much. So, Patrick was trying hard to be a good Catholic boy, but Father knew. And so Father came out as Lent approached, and he said, "Maybe it's time I should be calling on the newlyweds." And so off Father went to visit the lovely in-love couple. Knock, knock, knock. "Good afternoon, Colleen. How are you doing today?" says Father. And Colleen smiles, and she picks up her knitting as she sits in the parlour, and she visits with Father. And she's knitting and she's playing, and Father's going... Father looks at Colleen, and he says, "Colleen, where's Patrick?" Because Father was smelling something that no priest should be smelling in a good Catholic household during the middle of Lent. And Colleen was quietly knitting because, well, she and Patrick being a good now Catholic family, Colleen was in the family way, so she was busy with her wee blanket, and she said, "Father, Patrick's being wonderful. He's cooking us supper tonight." And she kept on knitting, and Father went, and Father went, And he stood up. He said, "Excuse me, Colleen." And he wandered his way over to the kitchen. And in the kitchen, he had the chance to peek round the door before Patrick noticed he was even there. And he saw Patrick at the stove with a beautiful steak in the pan. ladling the gravy over it. Oh, did that steak smell wonderful. As he ladles the gravy over it, you can hear Patrick saying, "You're a trout, you're not a steak. You're a trout, you're not a steak. You're a